So take a couple of deep breaths and just notice right now what your energy feels like in your body. Try to come internally. Notice where your breath is. Try to draw all of the energy, all of the stress, any caring that you have sent out. And just for this hour, imagine that you're pulling it back towards yourself. So it's not that you don't care. It's not that you aren't still going to give back out some of that energy. But just for this hour for yourself, imagine in your mind's eye that you're pulling all of your energy, all of your resources back towards your heart. And then let's take a few deep breaths. If you need to remind yourself where the diaphragm is, right above the belly button, you can put your hand there if you want to, or just try to draw the breath down deeper into your stomach. As you inhale, feel the inhale lift the spine a little long through the top of the head. As you exhale, exhale slowly, feeling yourself settle into your seat. As you inhale, if you don't feel like you're on your sit bones, adjust yourself so that you're right up on your sit bones, inhaling tall, letting your belly relax, drawing the breath deep. And as you exhale, again, settling in this time and in this place for yourself. Good. A couple more breaths, just bringing yourself home into your body. Good. Okay, hopefully you feel a little bit more at home in your body. We're going to exercise our bodies, and exercise and movement is one of the greatest things for expelling stress. So if you feel like you're in a stress cycle right now, what your body needs is to discharge some of that energy through movement. So we will do that now, and hopefully at the end come back into a place that feels less stressed, more centered, and able to connect with our breath and ourselves for the last meditation even better. So we're going to come to standing and go through some standing poses, and then we will come back to our mat.
What a dream.
I figured you would.
All right, so standing, let's find our feet under us. So remember that the feet go right under the hips, grounded through the 3 points. So lift up your toes, feel your heels on the ground, and then lay the ball of the foot down, that middle ball of the foot down, and then let the toes roll down. Let the toes be nice and flat. And then rock side to side, feeling the outside and the inside balls of the forefoot. And just notice the feet for a moment, grounding into the earth. Noticing the 3 points, the heel, inside, outside balls. And let the toes be nice and relaxed. We're going to take 3 inhales, lifting our arms up high, drawing the breath deep and lifting through the top of the head and the arms as you come up, then exhaling down nice and slow. Good. Inhaling up, grounding into the feet, lifting through the top of the head, feeling the spine elongate, Exhaling down slowly. And again, inhaling up. And exhaling down. Trying to lengthen the exhale to 8 or more seconds, feeling yourself relaxing into the body. Good. We're going to do a chair pose to wake up our legs. If you want to have an actual chair and kind of hover over it, you can. And otherwise, you're going to try to sit back as if you're sitting in a chair and not. And we're going to try to hold this pose. The knee is ideally right over the ankle, not way in front. If you can only go down a little bit with a tiny bend, that's okay. So the quality of the position is more important than how low you go. And we're going to lift the heart, lift through the top of the head, and hold it for 4 or 5 breaths, grounding into the heels, sitting back, lifting with the heart. Shoulders are back and down, head is lifted. Keep breathing. Good. Keep grounding through the feet, waking up the quads, squeezing the glutes. One more inhale here. Exhale fully, and then inhale up. Arms up overhead. Shake out the legs, and exhale down. Good. To wake up the lower legs, we're going to do heel raises. If you need a wall or a chair nearby for balance, please do that. So if you want your fingers on a chair or on a wall, that's fine. We're going to come straight up and straight down, moving with the breath. So inhaling up, exhaling down slowly. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Now, as you go up and down, try to keep your weight going straight up and straight down. So a lot of people kind of roll forward or they launch themselves in this funny U shape. We want to come straight up on the ball of the toe and straight down with control. And if this is hard on the balance, then grab a chair and just use the chair for the balance, focusing on the feet, moving straight up and down, the ankles not rolling out. The other thing a lot of people do is they come up and then they roll. So trying to keep the weight centered. Good, 5 more, inhaling up, exhaling slowly down. Good, excellent. Okay, relax that. We're going to come into a bit of a lunge position. And we're going to first just stretch out the calf that we just worked. So bring the right leg forward, left leg back. Keep the hip facing forward. If you feel a stretch in the front of the thigh or up at the hip, that's fine. But we're going to try to bend that front leg, hopefully feeling a stretch in the calf as well. Bringing the body forward, pushing the heel down into the ground, keeping the heart lifted and the shoulders down, breathing. And with the breath, to wherever you feel tight. So again, if you need a chair for this, that's good. Hold on to the chair for balance.
Keeping the back heel down.
Pushing it down towards the ground. It doesn't have to be totally down, but you want to feel the stretch in the calf and the heel cord.
Okay.
Good. One more breath here. Inhaling straight into the tight spots. Exhaling, push the heel down a little more. Push the knee back. Good. And then come up to standing. And then switch. Left leg forward, right leg back. Pushing the heel down towards the floor. A lot of people have tight calves. I really do not. So if your heel is up off of the floor, that's okay. Bend your knee, keeping the hips facing forward. pushing the heel towards the floor, whatever feels comfortable and right for your body. And then just breathe into the tightness wherever you feel that, hopefully in the calf, maybe in the front of the hip as well. Good. Heart is lifted, shoulders are relaxed. Inhale. Maybe bend the front knee a little deeper, pushing the heel back. Good. And come on up to standing. Good job. Now we are going to widen our stance. If it doesn't feel comfortable to have your feet facing straight forward, you can pivot them out so that the toes are facing out a tiny bit. And then we are going to stick our hips back and we're going to lunge side to side, waking up, someone's at our door, the inside of the leg, using the quad to control, stretching the inside of the leg, keeping the heart lifted still. Good. Back and forth, stretching out the inside. One more on each side. Good. And then pull the tummy in, come up nice and straight, walk your feet back. Now we're going to do downward facing dog, and then we're going to come into hands and knees and do some core work on hands and knees. So if downward facing dog is not a position you like, you're welcome to come to a chair or a countertop and stretch out the back of you like this, just lifting the tailbone away from the heels. Okay, for downward facing dog, we're going to lift up. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, bend to the knees, bring your hands to the mat, slide them forward, wide, wide fingers. Pull the tummy in a little bit to protect the back. Walk the feet back just a tiny bit, letting the knees be bent, letting the heels be off the ground. Lift the tailbone up, up, up. Push away with the hands into the mat, activating the shoulders, giving space in the shoulder. Let the head relax. Lift the tailbone up, lengthening the spine. Then we're going to spend 2 more breaths pedaling the feet, heels towards the ground. Lengthening the hamstrings and continuing to lengthen the back of the heel and the Achilles and the calf. Good. Now we're going to inhale forward, inhaling up on the toes, bringing the heart over the hands, coming into a high plank position if you can. Holding here for just 1 breath, pushing away with the hands into the mat. And then we're going to exhale, lower the knees down. We're going to do some, what we call downward facing dog prep. So you're going to keep yourself in this tabletop position. And we are going to make sure our hands are right under our shoulders. Nice, straight position. Always pushing away strongly into the mat. If you can't tolerate this with your wrists, you can put your fists like this to protect the wrists, but I encourage you to work on wrist extension and strength by at least doing part of it with a nice open hand. Knees are right under the hips. Knees are hip distance apart. Tuck the toes under. Pull the belly button up towards the spine, and we're going to lift the knees off of the mat and hold this for 2 breaths. So just a couple inches up, feeling our bodies getting rid of some of that stress, and then exhale, come down, let it rest. Once you've come down, relax your toes a moment and just find length. Tailbone reaching one way, top of the head reaching the other, shoulders back and down, nice and relaxed. Still pushing away into the mat with the hands. Take a breath here. Actively lengthening, tailbone one way, top of the head the other. Good, then tuck the toes under again. Take a breath and lift the knees up just a couple inches, holding there, keeping the tummy tight, pushing with the hands. 2 breaths here if you can. Good, exhaling fully. Bring the knees down nice and slow again. Good job. Okay. If you need to, you may sit back into child's pose for a moment and catch your breath. Otherwise, we're going to pull the tummy up towards the spine, keeping the length, top of the head away from tailbone. And we're going to activate the shoulders by bringing one arm up, pulling the shoulder blade back towards the hip, not rotating the body at all, and then slowly down. Good, then push strongly into the standing arm, bring the other arm up, thumb always pointing towards the ceiling, shoulder blade back and down, not twisting, and then bring it nice and slowly down. 2 more on each side, pushing strongly with the standing shoulder, just activating the shoulder blade, the thumb is up, keeping the back nice and straight. Good. Moving slowly, trying to stay with your body. If anything is feeling uncomfortable, back off. Only do what feels right and useful to your body. Good. Now keep the hands planted. We're going to do just leg for a moment. So keeping one knee down nice and strong, pull the belly button in, slide the right leg out, squeeze the glute and lift, lift, lift all the way up to parallel with the ground if you can. Inhale here, reaching the toe away from the top of the head, strong shoulders, flat back, tight tummy, and exhale, bring it down. Good. Reset your shoulders nice and strong, belly is in, slide your left leg back, squeeze the glute, lift, lift, lift all the way up to parallel if you can. Inhale here, top of the head away from the toe. Exhale slowly down. We're going to do 2 more on each leg, keeping the tummy tight, knowing this is strengthening your core, your back, your hip, your shoulders, lengthening the spine, bringing you into your body, moving with the breath, expelling stress. Good. And 1 more on each leg. Make sure your arms are steady. Never collapsing into the shoulders. Always pushing away, staying strong and square. Good. Go ahead and sit back into a prayer or a child's pose, whichever feels right to you. Bringing the forehead to the mat, either keeping the hips in the air and letting the tummy go, or sitting back, buttock onto your heels. Separate your knees so that your heart can float down between them. Forehead to the mat, and you can bring your arms down beside you if you're in a child's pose. Either position, take a couple of deep breaths, coming back into your body. Notice if you tend to leave when it gets hard, or if you were able to stay present. Breathing into your back ribs here, feeling each side of the ribs expanding with the breath. Noticing if there's a difference between the 2 sides. Good, 1 more big breath. And just settle into the mat on the exhale, relaxing, letting go of any tension. Good. I'm going to roll over and come onto our backs. So if you can, as you roll over, come into a seated position and control your descent onto your back with your core rolling down, controlling your spine. And we're going to do some bridging to start with. So bring your feet planted into the ground again, just like when we were standing. And bring your knees hip distance apart, and they're going to stay here through the whole bridge. So don't let them go out. Don't let them connect together as you bridge. Control them. And ground through the feet, shoulders down into the mat. Let the arms relax, palms facing up. So your shoulders have nothing to do with this next exercise at all. Okay, if you have a fragile spine, you're going to squeeze your glutes and lift straight up, lifting the hips as high as you can. If that's all the way up, wonderful. If not, that's okay. Every little bit is building strength, so go with whatever you can do. If you do not have a fragile spine, then you can curl up, peeling the sacrum first, tucking the tummy in, lifting slowly one vertebrae at a time, all the way up towards your ribs, towards your shoulders. Shoulders are down and back. Inhale, squeeze your glutes at the top. Exhale fully. Inhale again, and then on the exhale, start to roll down. Slowly, one vertebrae at a time, pulling the belly in. Slowly lowering down the low back, and then finally the sacrum, the tailbone, and let everything go. Good. We're going to do 5 more. If you're doing the rolling up, it takes longer. If you're doing just straight up and down, then it's a little quicker, so you might end up doing more. If you want to challenge at the top, instead of just taking a full inhale, exhale, and then inhale and lowering down, you may do your single leg challenge. So lifting one leg, keeping the hips level, reaching it out if you want to. Keep on breathing, switch legs, reaching out or just a little bit up, and then resetting all the way to the top before you exhale, roll down slowly. So I encourage you to work at whatever level your body is at right now, knowing that every little bit is building strength. And if something feels really hard this week, if you keep with it, next week it will feel easier, and the following week you won't believe it was hard. So when I started doing single leg challenges, my glutes weren't very strong, so I could barely just go like this. Just like one foot and then the other. It gets easier and easier, and it's really good to have strong glutes for your knees, your hips, your ankles, your back. Good, making sure you're inhaling all the way up. Feeling the breath lift your hips. Feeling each segment of the spine moving individually. Keep those shoulders down. Good. I'm going to do one more all together, curling up slowly or lifting. Week to week, you'll notice that your back is able to curl up more evenly without so much shaking. You'll notice the right and the left becoming more even, so the pressure isn't greater on one side or the other. These are good things. Having control with the core to unwind your spine slowly with control down to the mat is very powerful. Good. Go ahead and bring your knees to your chest, knees into the chest or the armpit, letting the sacrum and the tailbone float off the floor. Just rock yourself side to side, letting any tension go that developed in that area of your body. Take a deep breath. Let the tension flow out of you. Good, rocking side to side if that feels good. And then straighten the legs up as far as you can. If that's just to here, that's okay. Reach the feet up towards the ceiling. Reach the heels Feel length through the back of the legs. One breath here. Exhale, bend, and slowly lower one foot and then the other foot down to the mat. Beautiful job, everybody. Now we're going to work on our core. So we're going to do the neutral spine as always. So whether you have done this a lot or just a little, find your neutral spine today by rocking pelvis forward, which arches the back, pelvis back, which flattens, and then find your middle. It should feel comfortable. There should be no pain during these exercises. Pull your belly in, drawing your belly smaller, pulling the tummy in towards the spine. If you need help, you can inhale deeply, exhale, tightening the belly as you exhale through clenched teeth, making a sound. Feel inside of your hip bones. Find the tension that develops when you do that, and then let it go. And then inhale again, tighten, and feel the tension. Now maintain that tension, maintain the neutral spine, and if you can, lift both legs up off of the mat. If you can't, you can do marching, so just one foot and then the other foot, one foot always weighted. But if you can, bring one leg and then the other up, and then we're going to tap the toe down, bring it back up, drawing the belly in. Tap the toe down, back up, drawing the belly in again. Every time the knee comes back up towards your heart, your belly button pulls deeper into your spine. Good. Then notice if you happen to be breathing, inhaling, still inhaling into the belly. Even though it's tight, you can still use your diaphragm. This is not preventing that. Good. Couple more, tapping down, controlling the spine. Good. Keep breathing. Shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. And one more, and then knees into the chest. Coming into happy baby if that's a comfortable position for you. Grabbing your feet either on the outside or the big toe side, pulling the knees into the armpits, giving your back a little stretch that way, stretching out the hips that way, and just letting the hips float. Good, one more full breath here. And then you're going to bring one foot down, keeping the tummy tight, other foot down. Okay, you have two options. You can either keep the stomach tight and do leg raises with one foot planted. So you can alternate, keeping one foot on the ground, lifting the leg and replacing it, or you could bring your legs up again, keep one foot floating at about 90-90, and then lower the leg down as far as you can, lift it up, knee back towards the chest, other leg goes out, lower down as far as you can without losing neutral, squeeze that quad to bring it back up, and knee to 90-90. So whatever feels like something that you can do, we're strengthening the core, we're promoting a neutral spine, and we're also getting some quad work here. Good. Keep breathing, keep the shoulders down. We're going to do 5 more on each leg. If you feel like you're losing your spine at all, just do a smaller motion. So don't reach out as far. You're doing great. I notice my shoulders try to creep up, so I'm constantly reminding them to go down. Good, couple more. Keeping that spine neutral. You're doing great. I believe we're on one more each side. And then we'll come into knees to chest again for our last stretch there. Beautiful. Inhale fully, knees to chest, rock it out, roll. You can roll back and forth or just squeeze the knees up. And then put the feet down on the ground, stretching long. Gaze down away from fingertips, which reach overhead. Stretch out long like you're just waking up. Pull the belly in, feeling the front of you stretch.
Oh.
Good. Now we're going to roll onto our stomachs. Do a tiny bit more for our back and stretch out our stomach a little bit more. So roll over onto your belly. To start with, just let your legs flop wherever they want to go. Let your hips relax. And to start with, you're going to put your hands right under your shoulders. Let your forehead rest for a moment. And then on an inhale, we're going to push with our hands and lift our forehead and then our chest off of the mat. So inhaling, peel your shoulder or your forehead up. Lift your heart, pull your shoulder blades back and down, and just lift to whatever you can do. Inhaling and then exhale down. Let the forehead go all the way down. Again, inhaling up. Don't push with the hands. Use the shoulder blades and the back muscles to lift you as far as feels comfortable. And then exhale down.
It's a pretty carpet.
We're going to do one more. Inhaling up, forehead up, chest up, shoulder blades back and down. And exhale down. Good. Okay, one more thing here. So either bring your arms up to a Y position. If that's not comfortable, you can come into a W position like this. Either way, your thumbs are pointing up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to activate one hip. So squeeze the left glute and lift the thigh off of the mat. And then we're going to also, if your arm is up in a Y, lift it up, keeping the forehead still resting for this first one. If you're in a W, lifting it up as well. Shoulder blade coming back towards the opposite hip. Then exhale down. And then right leg, squeeze the glute first to lift the leg thigh off the ground. If your back feels strained at all, pull the tummy up towards the spine. Arm lift, shoulder blade down towards that hip and lower slowly. Good. Two more on each side, lifting opposite arm and leg, squeezing the glute, feeling the back muscles and the shoulder blade contract and slowly lowering down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. If you want to, you can bring your head up, tucking the chin, feeling length in the back of the neck. And you could hold that position, forehead off of the mat, but length in the spine. Beautiful. One more time into child's pose. Bringing your hips back, prayer or child's pose, stretching out the low back. Bring your forehead to the mat. I can hear everyone working so hard. Good job. Big inhale here. Exhale, settle yourself. Let the strain go. Let yourself be grounded through the forehead into the earth. Beautiful. Okay, my friends, come back up into a hands and knees position and then just drop the hip and lower down onto your side. We're going to use our hip muscles. We're bringing the knee up towards the chest. Find length from the top of the head through the whole body. top of the head, ear, shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle are all in alignment, just like when we're standing, hopefully. Point that top toe. Actively reach down away from the head. Pull the tummy in. If you want a little extra challenge, keep your hand off of the mat. If you want extra support, put it on the mat in front of you. Inhale, bring the leg forward, bend the knee, heel toward the butt, bicycling back. Reach behind you. Inhaling forward as far as you can, feeling the leg moving but not the body. So lots of nice control from the core. Good. One more here, bringing the leg forward, feeling length in the back of the leg. Heel comes towards the butt, reaching, tighten the glutes, lengthen. Now keep the thigh there. Bend the knee, heel towards the butt again with your leg back. Bring the bent knee forward. Reversing the bicycle for 3 more. Inhaling and exhaling fully. Good. If you can, keeping that toe pointed and really feeling the leg moving in the hip. Beautiful. After this next extension in front, bring the leg back to center. Let it rest if it needs to. The next one we're going to do is little circles. So we're going to do 10 each direction, circling whatever you want to imagine, whether it be a cantaloupe or a soccer ball or a little basketball. Imagine something round and circle one direction, nice and tight in the tummy, nice and slow, slowing down our systems. Good. And reverse. Trying to get that to be a circle, not a funny square or a rectangle. Trying to feel all those little rotator muscles and the abductors in the hips really working. Keeping the body very still. Feeling great. And let it rest. If it's feeling tired, go punch, 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 punch. Right below the hip and right inside the buttock there. We're going to do one more. So reach the leg down long. Rotate the knee towards the ceiling a little bit, feeling the rotators activated. And then you're just going to go tap and lift and tap, tap, tap back and tap, tap front. We're just going to do 4 of these just to make sure we really got our hips. Tap, tap. My husband's grunting over here. And tap, tap. And relax. There's always people on the sidelines here doing it. Good job, everybody. All right, foot comes to the mat, that top leg if you can, or somehow get it out of the way. We're going to just do 10 lifts to activate the adductors, the one we stretched earlier. So try to keep the hips still stacked and just lift as far as you can, lower slowly. So really focus on the lowering, eccentrically controlling with that adductors, lifting and lowering slowly, bringing yourself back to your breath here. Good. If at any time you just feel like, oh my goodness, this is not what I can do right now, just rest for a moment. I want you to really always listen to your body in this class. That's the whole point, is becoming aware that your body's always speaking to you and listening. So if something I say doesn't feel like the useful right thing for you today, then just don't do it right then. It's okay. There's no shame in not doing the whole thing. Good. Okay, roll over onto the other side. Bringing yourself again nice and long. Bottom knee coming up towards your chest. Tummy pulled in tight. Find that length from the top of the head all the way down through the body, culminating at the toe. Hand to the mat if you need it for support. Up on your hip if you want to use your core a little bit more. And then inhale, bring your leg forward, bend the knee, heel toward the butt, and reach behind you without moving your body. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Good. This is the last one back. When you get back, reach behind you, keep your leg there. Don't move your thigh as you bring your heel up towards your butt again, using that hamstring. Then bring the knee forward and lengthen in front of you. Good. Nice and slow, feeling control. You can power your way through using momentum, but that will not do you as much good as controlling every bit of motion and staying present with your breath and listening to your body. Good. Bring the leg back to center. And you're going to do circles. So whatever you want to imagine, something circular down there right at the base where you would be standing. 10 ways or 10 circles each way. So forward. And it's okay that this leg is already a little more tired than the other leg. That's normal because we're already stabilizing when it was down on the mat. Good. Keep breathing. A couple more little circles and reverse. One for 10 if you can. Keeping the leg right in line with the frame of your body, not way in front, not way in back. Using those rotators. Breathing and relax. Good job. Punch out the hip if it needs it. Right in the buttock there. Good job. Okay, we're just going to make sure we really got it with forward tap, tap, lift, tap, tap, lift, tap, tap. Just 4 of them, tap, tap. 2 more. The reason we do the tap, tap is so you can't use momentum. Good, and bring it back to center. Let it rest, and then bring the foot to the mat, stretching that bottom leg long. We're gonna do 10 lifts using the adductor, nice and controlled. Up and slowly down. Good job. I'm proud of you all. Good, keep breathing, keep those shoulders relaxed. You're almost done with this hip work. Beautiful, and relax. Let yourself roll over onto your body, onto your back, and let your body settle into the mat a moment. Just take a breath here, set your shoulders down. Find your feet in the mat again. Take a big breath, letting your belly be soft now, just letting all the tension that you've been holding in it go. And then we're going to cross over the right leg over the left knee, coming into a figure 4 stretch to stretch out that right hip. Grab hold of the thigh of the left leg. If you need a strap, you're always welcome to have one nearby, and use the strap around the thigh and hold on to it with your hands. A towel or a sheet around the thigh works beautifully too. Inhale, and then keep the shoulders down as you bend the elbows, bringing the knees both towards the chest. Exhale, let the tension that you feel in that right hip melt away. If you have a lot of tension in the hips, I recommend you do this every day. If you feel like you're a little bit crooked and you sit a lot, or you always sit with one leg crossed over the other, first of all, try to cross both legs alternating over each other so you don't tighten up one side. And also do the stretch every day to even yourself out. One more inhale, bringing the knees a little bit more toward the chest, using the biceps. Pulling in. You can always slide your foot across the knee to get a little bit of a different stretch if that feels better. Lower that foot down, uncross the legs, and then switch sides. Left foot over the right knee. Grab hold of that right thigh with your hands or a strap of some kind. Inhale, shoulders are down. Exhale, pull the knees towards the chest, keeping the elbows doing all of the work. Biceps, not the shoulders. As you inhale, let the belly be so relaxed now, filling it with air. Exhaling, just letting everything flow out of you that is not relaxed. Good. Beautiful. Now bring those feet back down. Bring one foot down straight, maybe the right leg straight on the ground, nice and flat. And we're going to lift the left leg up, straightening the knee. If you have a strap nearby, you're welcome to use that. If we were in the yoga studio, I would have given you all one. So you could have a strap or a sheet around the heel and hold on to the leg with the arms, which is a nice way to do this. Otherwise, a little more awkward is reach behind the thigh or whatever you can reach with your hands. Try to keep the shoulders still down and lift the heel up towards the ceiling, straightening the knee as much as you can. Inhale here, and then as you exhale, push down, activating the hamstring, pushing into your hands, and then relax. And as you relax, try to bring the leg up to its new point. So usually you get a little bit of length from doing the activation and then another stretch. So if you want to, one more time, pushing down, activating the hamstring, and then relax. Bringing the leg up or extending the heel up so that the knee is more straight and lengthened, whatever feels right. And then bend the leg, bring it down to the ground. Inhale deeply and extend that left leg onto the ground. Bring that right leg up. Reach behind the thigh or hook your strap or sheet around the heel. Reaching up, lengthening the back of the leg, letting the left leg just be still and relax on the ground as much as you can. Inhale here and then exhale, push down a little bit into the hands, activating the hamstring for about 6 seconds is what's recommended, and then relax. Bring up any slack, any extra stretch you got there. One more time, pushing into the hands or away from the nose with the heel, and relax. Good, shoulders are relaxed. Reach the heel towards the ceiling, stretching the back of the leg, and relax. Good job. Okay, we're going to do a little quick rotation stretch. So you can either bring your arms out into a T position and just keep the feet on the ground and roll your knees side to side, or you can cross your feet over into the figure 4 stretch that we just did and rotate that way. So I'm going to do that today, keeping the arms out in a T and bringing the knees over to the right side. Moving slowly, this is a twist that should feel comfortable, not painful. Inhaling, pushing the shoulder down into the floor, feeling a nice stretch. And then come back to center. If you're in a figure 4 position, switch your legs. Dropping the knees over now towards the left side, trying to keep that right shoulder down on the floor. And gently going into whatever feels right for you for a stretch. Rotating the spine, keeping the shoulders down, letting the knees fall. In a figure 4, this gives you a bit of a hip stretch. Otherwise, you get just more of a spinal rotation stretch. Go ahead and come back up to center. And bring your arms out into a T. Just keep your feet planted on the ground, nice and flat, knees hip distance apart. And just do 4 breaths, bringing the shoulder blades down towards the hips, feeling them reaching towards the hip, activating the muscles of the lower trapezius, and then relax. Keeping the neck relaxed, chin maybe a little bit tucked. Squeeze your shoulders back and down into the mat and relax. Good, 3 more, keep going. Good. Okay, we are going to come into whatever position you want for a meditation time, whether that be resting on your back or seated in a cross-legged or any position you want. If you want to put something under the knees, you can do that. If you want to come into my favorite position, I give people 90-90 rest position for the spine. You can do that, putting your legs up on a chair or flat. So take an inhale and just as you exhale, scan through your body, noticing where you have worked, noticing maybe some energy buzzing that wasn't there before. Notice if you're still holding tension or if you have new tension anywhere. Taking stock, noticing our body. And take a deep breath down into your belly and notice the quality of the energy in your body at this point. Notice after doing some movement and some exercises, some stretches, controlling the breath. Notice if it changed the quality of the energy in your body. And notice what that feels like. So there's a great book called The Body Keeps Score, and it talks about the stress cycle and that your body, in response to stress, either goes into a fighting response or a flight response, which is escape, running away, or a freeze response. And what the body needs in response to stress is to expel and discharge that stress energy and come back afterwards into a safe and peaceful state. And if we don't do that with our stress, no matter which of the 3 responses we tend to do in our lives, if we don't somehow expel the stress through movement or art or singing or yelling or a good cry, if we just stuff it inside ourselves, it doesn't go away and it wreaks havoc. But if you can expel it and then come into a state of relaxation and knowing that you are safe afterwards, then that cycle is over and it's not part of you anymore. So this can be very healing for old stresses and old traumas, as well as new ones. So I invite you today to just imagine yourself in a beautiful surrounding, whatever you prefer, somewhere that you do feel safe. Maybe it's a beach setting, or maybe the forest, maybe up on a mountain. Maybe you don't like being outside as much as in your room or in a favorite room in your house. That's okay. Just imagine yourself in a place that makes you feel relaxed and safe. And just inhale, smelling whatever smells come with this place, imagining, feeling it in your nose. Notice if you can hear anything. Maybe birds chirping, maybe waves crashing, maybe water running, maybe a breeze. Notice what the air feels like on your skin. So is it warm and humid? Is it cool? Good. Keep visualizing this place for a few more breaths. And tell yourself that you are safe. I am safe. I am loved. I am held. I am known. And I am seen. And I have great power. My power made even greater, coming from a place of groundedness and peacefulness. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, coming back into this room, coming back into your body. Bend your knees and roll to your side whenever you're ready. And then push yourself up to seated whenever you're ready. Once you're in seated, just lengthening one more time from the sit bones up through the top of the head. Roll the shoulders a couple times up towards the ears, back and down. Good. Let them rest. If you want, let your ear go one way and then the other. Giving yourself a little stretch. Beautiful. Take a last inhale and exhale, thanking yourself for this practice and for giving yourself this time. And I really hope that we can all go out into the world with a little bit more of a grounded energy, knowing that maybe this is a transition time, but it will be okay. And you're doing very good work. And the more that you can come from a place of breathing and groundedness, the better that work, the quality of it will be. I love you all.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Robin.
You're welcome.
Hey, Robin.
See you next week.
Okay, I'll be back Friday this week at noon and then again next week.
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking.